a shirt, or I can't believe we got those big pockets and bags, so you can stuff it in there, whatever you're into. Just, you know, make sure you take it with you as opposed to leaving it in transition, all right? So the reality of the situation is all of this is gone, right? So all that is on my body. Let's talk about the actual setup then. Again, the idea here is, how do I not forget anything, all right? So you're coming out of the water, and you want to make sure that you can put everything on that you need, all right? So your bike is always going to be hooked by the nose, unless you have one of those unique saddles that's a little stub. I don't think you guys have actually seen my race bike, but I have a little stub that this doesn't really work on. But 99 out of 100 bikes, you're going to hook the nose of the saddle. That's going to cause the front tire to hang down. It is directly next to that front tire where you're going to set up. No yoga mat, no beach towel. You're going to get just a tiny little hand towel like this. And then if you want, I like to keep a little one sometimes for just like face and hair and whatever else you're going to do. I also like to offset things a little bit so that when I walk up, I'm peeling the wetsuit off, and I'm just stepping on here and I'm giving it a couple little swipes of my feet, all right? If it is a very sandy race, oftentimes the race directors will have kiddie pools for you to run to, or 5-gallon buckets or something. It just depends, again, on the caliber of the race. Ironman Florida with serious sand and a quarter-mile run-up through it, they have like a shower station to get the salt water and sand off you. That's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like what they have at the beach volleyball tournaments. Other races, kiddie pools, if they don't have anything, Vineman, the local race down in wine country, they don't have anything, and you're getting dressed in like this dirt, gritty parking lot. So if that's the case, and if you're worried about that, keep an extra water bottle, which I don't have here today, but I would have a water bottle right here, so it's wetsuit off, and then before I get to my nice towel, I'm taking a water bottle, and I'm hosing my foot down, standing on the nice dry towel, hosing the sand off that foot, wiping it down, all right? So that way you can get all the chunks off.
Okay, but again, is there a bike right here?
Yep.
Okay, so you're facing the other way. That much space. Okay.
Yeah, but remember a couple things.
I need a lot of space to get out of that wetsuit.
It's facing this way.
Yeah.
And you don't have another rack until back here.
So we can undress here.
So you're going to be getting undressed here.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
and
and
the
that's
probability of this person finishing at the exact same time as you and the exact same time as that person is pretty slim.
Yeah.
So realistically, you're going to have room. Now, if you're not exactly the first person out of the water, you're also going to have someone who left their wetsuit there, someone who knocked something else over here. But it's not, like, your space to change is not that big of a deal.
Okay.
The space you have for stuff is small.
Okay.
But the space you have for, like, moving and maneuvering, not a big deal.
so you bring everything in a backpack?
Yeah.
So where's your backpack? Under all that?
Follow the crowd on that one. Sometimes they'll be like, if this is the end of the rack, and let's pretend that there's a fence line here, sometimes people just pile up against the fence line. Sometimes they don't allow that, so you have to put it over the fence line. Sometimes there's an actual bag check, just like coat check at a nice restaurant. You just got to kind of follow the crowd and see what everyone's doing. I would try to get it out of this area, I'll tell you that. So I always try to go to the fence line, because that way I know after the race, if they don't allow you back into transition, which is fairly common, where they'll wait until the last person comes in before you can get back to it. Well, if it's post-race and I got my meal in there, and I got my extra water in there, and I got my extra sunblock in there, I want to be able to just casually reach over the fence and grab that, but I also want the barrier where I'm not just throwing it by some tree over there by the swim start where anyone can walk by and poach my gear. So just, again, follow the crowd and see what everyone's doing.
And the other thing is, remember, I'll be there too, so depending on what the crowd's doing, I mean, if you want to pass something off to me.
Yeah, because they'll let you in transition. Are you going to check in?
I don't think they will.
No.
But
Oh,
she's
wait a minute, but I'm
registered. She can check in. You can check in.
Yeah, you could go in.
Yeah.
You're going to check in to get your $110 t-shirt.
Heck yes, I am checking in. I'm getting my stuff.
So you should be able to come in.
You might require
yeah.
body marking, which could be weird, but
That's
figure it out.
You could be marked. You don't care.
all
But
right.
yeah, stick around. Someday when this club is profitable, we'll get a nice big tent for us, and we'll have that set up. All right, so you're out of your wetsuit. You've kind of bundled that. I would just kind of roll it up and then tuck it somewhere back here so it's out of the way. Again, those things shred real easy, so you want to be really careful with your wetsuit. So I just kind of roll mine up and just kind of tuck it back here so that I know no one's going to trample it as they go running through transition. Who's wearing socks on the bike? Okay, so if you're wearing socks on the bike,
I don't think so. I'm going to try it today.
you need to find a way to get into wet socks. So first thing you do is you roll them up. All right. So you roll up. Remember, your feet are still soaking wet, even though you had a towel you thought you were going to dry off, and then a second towel you thought you were going to get more dry off, and your feet are still wet. You're just going to have to trust me on that because it's going to be running out of your jersey and everything. You can do one of two things. If you're prone to blistering, you might keep everything wet and not even attempt to dry. What I mean is all that body glide that you use around your neck for the wetsuits, or spray-on glide like I prefer to use, you're just kind of hosing this thing down so that you can slide it on. Alternatively, baby powder. You're just going to shake a ton of baby powder in here, all right? Again, this thing is rolled up like pantyhose or a condom, and you're just grabbing that thing. And that way, all you have to wrangle with is that first little bit, and then you're just rolling it all the way up. All right. So that's your easiest way. But rolling and baby powder is key on that. And then specific order of operation and getting into everything else. So I've used my towel to kind of just get the lake funk off my face, thrown that to the back of the pile here. Wetsuit probably came on top of that. Goggles. By the way, if you have nice goggles, put your goggles inside your cap and then throw them, just a little protection, because the cap they're giving you is for free. Stick around the sport long enough, you'll have 500 of those things in your closet. But the goggles you actually have to pay for. So goggles and cap are probably somewhere back here in my little pile that's growing. And now, I know I need to wear shoes to get on the bike, right? Has anyone ever got on their bike and forgot their shoes? Really?
I have. They were
How
bike
far did you
shoes,
get?
though. They weren't bike shoes.
How far did you get before you noticed?
I bought a block.
Are you smoking?
Is this in college?
No.
So
It was summer.
So normally you're going to remember shoes, right? I have no doubt that you won't forget shoes, all right? So if we know we're not going to forget shoes, we put shoes at the bottom of the pile of everything else I want, all right? So what I want on the bike, helmet. Helmet needs to be on and clasped before you get into forward motion at all, right? And sunglasses, right? So glasses, one over here. I don't think I did.
Here.
Oh, I can see.
So
Aren't those
Glasses.
inside the cap?
They're inside the cap.
They're inside the cap.
oh, okay, there we go. Good eye. So
Are you
glasses,
good
one of
with
two
this?
places.
Oh, good, for Suzanne.
I'm going to put it in the helmet, so I can't put the helmet on with grabbing those. Or this might be something that I would deal with during the race. You just got to find what is a really safe place for yours. I probably wouldn't do that on those cables. I might wedge it between the water bottle. But if there's some place, again, that you can deal with this on the bike, and again, you're comfortable, maneuvering with minimal hands, you can put that on the bike. Otherwise, it's here on the helmet, so I can go grab those, put those on. Then grab the helmet. Helmet has to be on and clasped before you're going, all right? And then you're sliding into your shoes. Unhook the bike. To get the bike out, you're simply moving it back, pulling it through. If you have a really tall bike, you might have some issues, but most racks, the issue is actually those of you who have really tiny bikes, is this front tire might just kind of float in the air. That's more probable than you getting stuck underneath it. Plus, this is a mountain bike, obviously, with huge tires. Your road bikes on race day are going to be your road bikes you've been riding. So,
What about your bib?
bib. So bib is never needed on the bike.
Okay.
Bib's only needed on the run. Some people will put it on during the bike just to get it out of the way, and if that's the case, and that race belt, you're going to spin the number around and back. All right. So you're off and running on the bike. We good? T1? Run up from the beach? Sweet. Only other thing I'll mention is that, like we did in the race strategy meeting, is just make sure your legs are going. So in my mind, T1 starts in the last 200 meters of the swim, where I start kicking hard, get to the shore, do those dolphin dives, so that like when I get into T1, I don't have brain sparklers. But gear-wise, this is about all you need. So you're coming back in, or you're leaving now with your bike. Remember, there is a mount line. All right, you cannot get on your bike until the mount line. You're going to be excited. You're going to want to hop on that bike right there as soon as you unrack it. But you have to wait until there's that huge mount line. If you get on before the mount line, either you'll have a pile of people screaming at you, huge discourtesy to other athletes. Because remember, people are coming out of the water walking, disoriented, and you're coming through on your bike. Not only illegal, but kind of a prick move. So just wait for the big mount line. All right, people will be screaming mount here. So you're coming back from the bike. You get off of the bike short of the dismount
can you take
line,
my water bottle?
right? So you're going to be totally off the bike.
My
before
arm
you get
was
to that
falling
dismount
asleep.
line. Helmet's still on because the bike is still in motion as you push it, winding all the way through transition. You're racking it in the same spot in the same way. Now you're taking off the helmet, taking off the bike shoes for those of you wearing bike shoes. At this point, transition looks like a big, gnarly, high-end yard sale for athletes.
Can we shop?
No, not shop.
Maybe even, well, you put the little flag on the pole.
I'll give it that.
I'm going to put a bow on my bike.
Do you want me to just take it?
That's an idea.
And put it on the transition area. Just tie it on the thing your bike's racked on.
Right.
Some little something that you
So
see.
again, same theme here. I know, as much time as I spent living in Florida barefoot running, I know I'm not going out in a triathlon barefoot. I know I'm not going to forget my shoes. So everything important on top of that is on top of that. The thing I have on the top of that pile is a hat. Because in T2, I'm not worried about forgetting something to take out. I'm worried about bringing something with me. Think of what you might accidentally bring with you on the run.
Your helmet.
The helmet.
Your helmet. Again, we reserve rights to share those photos of you all over Facebook and the blog. So I put a hat there because I know that when the first thing I grab is a hat, it's weird when you try to put a hat over it. It looks like, why does this is really tight? Oh, I'm wearing another hat. Or on race day, I'm wearing a helmet. All right.
Okay, wait,
So-
Lindy. Have you ever forgot to take the helmet off?
I have, but it wasn't in a race. So.
All right, so hat on top. I don't care if you're not even racing in a hat. If you hate hat, put a hat down, put a visor down, just so you're like, why is that? I never wear hats, so it's, oh, knock, knock. Okay, I'm going to take this off and throw it to the side. All right, so you got your hat on. And then you have to have the number on. So this is my race belt. Hopefully you guys all scored a race belt by now. But your number is going to be on here. Again, if you're working for speed, this is something you can put on in motion. Otherwise, you're just throwing this thing on, spinning it around for our imaginary number that's going to be hanging here to be in front. Your number has to be in front. All right. So numbers hanging in front.
Where are those race belts locally available?
Track, I believe. If not, I don't know. Big Five? Really?
Five.
Yeah.
Huh.
You can get totally dorky ones, little mini hacks like I like to have.
That's a
Fanny
spy belt.
packs,
Yeah,
but
we
they
have one of
regular
those. Yeah.
ones, too.
Cool.
I have a question though. What are those little wiggly things on yours?
That's where they go through the number holes.
No, the front head.
Oh,
In
these?
front.
No, the little side guys.
So these hold the numbers. There's
Yeah.
going to be little holes on your number deal. These are to stuff nutrition.
Oh, nutrition.
Or for professors like you, multiple colors of pens.
And a rock hammer.
And a rock hammer. Yeah. Geologist professors like you get. Rock hammers, red pens, marking papers, exactly. Sharpies. No, this is for like gel packs and stuff. Anything else you need?
These screwball things fit in, and you can fill them with your whatever.
All
We
right.
were gonna buy and move that.
Yes.
We may not be fast, and I may not even be participating, but I'll look good.
Yeah. Like Chewbacca in your armor. shoes at the bottom, in between anything else you need. So, again, this is my tri-glide. This is basically my body glide for the wetsuit. But like, this is where, again, I'm going minimalist, so this actually wouldn't be in transition for me. Neither would this. It would be really neat and clean. It would be hat, shoes, number belt, out transition and running. But again, this is where like comfort is okay as long as it's not a picnic in here. So like nutrition, a longer race, I might, half iron, I might actually take the time to eat, Olympic distance, might take the time to knock down 80, 100 calories. If it's a later in the day race, I might have a little extra sunblock here. It would not be spray sunblock, never bring spray sunblock into transition, all right, but it would be like stick sunblock to apply.
Why would that be?
The spray, because the 5 people downwind from you might not want as much
okay.
sunblock as you.
Got it.
Yeah, never spray anything really in transition.
It gets on your bike, it gets on everything.
Yeah, and if this gets on your handlebars, good luck staying.
Or your disc brakes.
So that's that's it. You're off and running. Helmet's off because you had the hat in there, and I'm grabbing a little pack and I'm eating this on the run, my baby food.
Now, what about trash? Like, when you're done with that, do you throw it on the ground and they come pick it up? You put it all in your pockets.
Yeah, huge penalty and huge, like, remember, we're imposing on the entire city of Folsom for this race. Like, people are not getting to church on time. People are not getting home from church on time. So you have to keep all your trash. At aid stations, it'll be really clear. Like aid stations, so they have cups of water for you. You're going to grab a cup of water. It'll be really clear, like that you have 20 or 50 feet to dump cups. Like
Yeah, just like any other race.
And then throw it in the woods later.
But there's even a note